everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bethany if you're joining for the first time. And in today's video, I'm working on a really fun Halloween card, and I'm inspired by a few different things, especially this little trio that I have here on my desk. And these are a few things that I picked up recently and haven't crafted with yet, so I thought I would bring them all together and get a cute little card made. First and foremost, I recently showed this really pretty paper pad. I got this in a haul recently, and I just absolutely adore it. I love the colors. I love a pink Halloween. I tend to go more with pink and a sherbet and a black. I think it's so pretty. So obviously this just spoke to me so much. And I think that each and every piece of paper is just so pretty, and it is double-sided. I think everything's just so sweet. I think that the little witch also reminds me of Samantha off of Bewitched. And in its entirety, I just adored every little piece. So look at the stripes. I think they're so fun. So I'm going to use this as my pattern paper today, and I really could do a trio of cards at least with this, but I'm going to stick to one card today, and I want to base it off of this really neat spooky die that I purchased from Simon Says Stamp. I thought this was really, really cute, and I really wanted to place it into my collection. And then I also think I'm going to bring in the bat from this cute little trick or treat set from Fawn. And as a reminder, I will place a whole source list down in the description box below this video so that you can see each and everything that I'm using in case you want to shop any of these items for your own craft space. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to first and foremost grab some 110-pound cardstock, and I think I'm going to start by cutting out this little spooky die a few times because I want to stack this up. And what's really neat about this is it's not only going to cut out the letters, but it's also going to cut out this rectangle. So this is going to be really, really fun, and I am inspired in a variety of ways to use this, but I'm going to show you just one way that you can run with this cute little die. Okay, so as mentioned, I'm simply going to place my die on this 110-pound cardstock, angle it just a bit. In fact, I might trim this down so that I can angle it really well without the paper falling off the side, if that makes sense. Smaller pieces will be a little bit easier here. So let me go ahead and just angle that. That way it just runs through a little bit more gracefully. And I will do this, let's start with 3 times. I think 3 times will give me the look that I'm going for, but we'll see after 3 how I'm liking that. Okay, so that ran through, and sometimes I just kind of toss these to the side and everything will just fall out. And sometimes I have to grab a little craft pick and use those nice little holes in the back. There we go, that popped off really nice. And how neat, oh my gosh, and it really cut super nice, but I love that all the pieces stayed intact because if you want to do different little methods with this, then that is a good starting point. Okay, let me run this through a couple additional times and then we will see how that looks stacking wise. Well, the first one cut out the best because now all the other ones are coming out in bits and pieces, but that is completely fine because I'm actually going to be just using the little outlines, but I do want to keep my little middles of all my little pieces. So I'm trying to just keep everything as organized as I can. So let me pop these out and then we'll start stacking them up. Okay, now you can definitely save your little letters off to the side and do something super fun with them because you have obviously the whole word spooky right there, but I'm also going to organize, let's see, it looks like I have my O's and my P's that have middles. So I'm going to go ahead and just save those. In fact, follow me over on Instagram. I might post a project of what I do with the little pieces that come out, these little letters, because now I'm super inspired to do that, but I know already that I don't have enough time in this video to play around with them, but I will post over there what I end up doing. Okay, oh my goodness gracious. Sometimes it's so easy, there we go, and sometimes not. So carefully keeping the O's and keeping it all organized. Okay, and then collecting all of my little letters in this little basket, and then I can have some fun tomorrow creating with these. Okay, so now I'm just gonna grab some liquid glue, and I'm gonna make sure I don't have any clogging. Usually I don't, but I like to just double check. Okay, and then I'm just going to stack these one on top of the next. So I'm just going to place some glue throughout the surface here, and then I'll stack them one on top of the next. Okay, I have enough glue, I think, so I'm just going to take my next one, lay it down. Oh, I already can tell I think 3 will be perfect, especially with the 110 pound. It's really easy to stack and see instant results, if you know what I mean, right? Because it's thicker already, just one piece is thicker, so it doesn't take many to really see some additional thickness. So the thicker the cardstock you can use for layering dies, kind of the quicker, right? I mean, it's obvious if you have a thicker cardstock, it's not going to take as many layers to stack up. Okay, and then final layer. I think that will be really nice. And just squeezing those into place. And then I'm going to bring in, oh, that looks so good. I'm going to bring in my pattern paper, and I'm just going to play around with placing this on a variety of pieces. And what I'm going to focus on is obviously some paper that has smaller patterns on it. Look at this cute girl. I love her. Scary, but make it cute. Oh, I didn't notice this little duo. That's cute too. Okay, so something like this would work obviously because you can see through the pattern, right? And you're not really losing much. But I want something more than that. So I think half the fun is just kind of playing around and seeing what works. This would work too, because again, you can put this on the pattern and you can still make out that it's cats, right? Because the pattern is small enough. In my opinion, I think that a smaller pattern would be best here. That's really cute, and I like the colors. She's cute, but I do think that it's too big because you kind of lose what's going on, and you don't ever really get her in her entirety. Plus, you're gonna end up covering her up, so I don't think that's a good option, although really cute. The ghost would be fun, but I think what I will do is I really like this piece. I like it because there's small little prints and you can get a variety of color as well. I love the bats. I love that you get some orange, and I also really love that most of it is pink. I just love that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is rip that out, and I also like it because I really want to bring in, where did I put it? I want to bring in that stamp set from Fawn, and it has some bats on it, so I think that that will just pair really, really well. Okay, so let me get an idea for how big this die is. So it looks like it is, oh, just shy of 2 3/4 by, well, it's not really an exact size. So why don't we start with, you know, I think it'd be safe to do 2.5 by 4 3/4. So 2.5 by 4 3/4. It's going to be shy on the 2.5 side, but it's going to be okay. Let's go ahead and trim that down, and I'll show you why an exact measurement is going to be just fine. Okay, so I'm going to do I like to trim off the little tab first because it messes up with my eye, and it also kind of messes with my math. And I love math, but I don't need any distractions, right? Okay, so I'm going to start with the 2.5. So we'll do that, 2.5, line that up just so. That is so cute. 2.5. And then did I say 4 3/4? I did, 4 3/4. And I might just go just a tad shy of that. So maybe 4 5/8. Okay. And be careful if you have directional paper that you are cutting it in the direction that you want, right? So of course I did my 2.5 on the bottom because I want all of my little pieces to be the right side up. I don't want anything upside down, and I didn't want them sideways. Okay, so then I can just place that on there. That is so cute. And you can see it's not an exact match, but it doesn't matter because you're not falling short within a letter, if that makes sense. You're not gonna see at all where it is. Okay, so I think what I'll do is, honestly, I think I will just do liquid glue, and I think that'll be just fine. Now, I had so many ideas for using this die. In fact, up until almost right before recording, I was going to make a shaker. I bought this die to make a shaker. I really wanted to do a shaker, but I kind of wanted to inspire with a card that you could mass produce. Should you be someone who wants to mass produce a Halloween card? But also, just because this is a Halloween card doesn't mean you can't take away some of these tips and apply it to any type of card, right? So I wanted to give inspiration on kind of a design where you could mass produce, because sometimes we want to make so many, but then when we look at how much time one takes, it's so discouraging, right? So I think that if you did this and you did it in, you know, little zones, like you did cut all your pattern paper at once, had that all ready in a pile, cut all of your die cuts and stack them, have that ready in a pile, you could make this so quickly, and then you could stamp all of your little bats, and I think this would just be a really easy one to mass produce. Okay, let's go ahead and add the little insides of the pea, and I'm gonna grab my little wand here, make sure that these are right side up. Okay, that looks good. And I'm just gonna stack those one by one within. Turn this around. Okay, there we go. I just finished up. And for all my Cricut lovers, this would be so easy to do on a Cricut. And you could do any word that you wish. Oh my goodness, I think that is so cute. And I love the dimension on there. I think it's just so fun. It's so pretty. Okay, now let me grab my card base, because I don't know if I just want to place this right on my card base or if I would like to do another panel, because I kind of like the look of a layering panel, but it may be just fine on a card base. But we still have a lot to do because we need to do some stamping and obviously add maybe a little shine at the end. Okay, one step at a time. Let's bring in a card base and just see where we're at. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my Score Buddy, and I wanna make a top folding card. So the dimensions of my cardstock, this is 110 pound once more. It's sized at 11 by 4 1/4. And so then, given that we have 11, we would just score at 5 1/2 to be at exact center. And then our final card size will be the A2 size of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, I think that's going to be just fine. I'm gonna grab my bone folder. Let me know if you make Halloween cards. Before tiptoeing back into paper crafting and starting card making, I did not do Halloween cards, but now I want to make cards for everything because I find it to be so relaxing and fun. Oh, that's really pretty. Oh gosh, I like it. I'm not gonna do an additional panel. I think less is more. I think we could definitely be simple here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, let's put this in place, and I could do tape runner, but I think I'll just stick with the glue. Do I wanna add any more dimension though? Or do I wanna keep it, do I wanna do maybe foam tape and have it raised up just a little bit more? Oh, I think that's the call. I mean, why not? Why not? I don't think you can go wrong. Okay, so I was talking about these scissors in last week's video. I think so. And I was mentioning how awesome they are. If I can use them correctly. Okay, there we go. They are really, really awesome. I'm so glad that I invested in them. I think they are so great. Okay, let's go ahead and just peel all these off. And I'm probably going to do a little liquid glue on the back of this just because that is a lot of adhesive that will not be very forgiving while I'm trying to ensure that it's all lined up. So just a little bit of grace in liquid glue. Okay, now let's bring in the T-square ruler and get an idea of where I want this. Actually, I need to bring it on its own first. Actually, that looks pretty perfect. Yep. Okay. One and done. Ooh, I like it, and I love the added dimension. Just a little more. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side. I'm actually going to flatten this out, and then I'm just going to put a nice block on there just to let it settle in the corner while we do a little stamping. Okay, bringing in my little mini Misty. And I thought I had the coordinating dies to these, and I don't want to say I don't. I just don't know where they are, maybe. I have my stuff organized kind of by, I'm just going to grab the bat, whether I've used it yet or not. So I kind of have like a stash of things to craft with, and then after I craft with it, then I organize it and file it away. It just kind of helps me keep kind of inventory, if that makes sense. But anyway, it could just be lost in inventory. I'm finding a little Y here. Okay, I'm gonna do Memento, and I'm choosing that just because I will end up coloring, and I want my ink to be friendly with my marker. Okay. One and done. Wow, I haven't done that, especially with a brand new stamp. Okay. Oh, I should probably trim this down a little bit just so that I can kind of rotate this a bit. I grabbed 110 pound once more, but now that I am not knowing where the dies are, I don't think that was a great choice because it's a little hard to fussy cut really thick cardstock. So I probably should have done 80 pound, but I'll do my best. Let's see if I can do it again. I think I'm going to do 3. Oh my gosh, that looks really good. And then I'll just kind of rotate this and kind of see. Oh, that one went down a little snappy. Okay, awesome. So let me just clean this off and put it away. Okay, because this is so itty bitty, I think what I'll do is just use one color for the bat. And I'll add a little bit of shading, but I'm not going to worry about pulling very many. So I'm going to use NG03, and it's just a nice neutral gray. And I'll just color in this bat, or these bats, and then I'll add some shading after. And I actually really like a gray bat because I think it's just softer. And I don't know, just softer. Okay, I'm going to color all of them in, and then I'll go back in. I kind of like to let the ink set just a little bit before adding, if I'm using the exact same color, before adding a little shading, because if not, it just kind of melts right into it, and I don't know, it doesn't give it the look that I'm kind of going for. The contrast really isn't there because it just kind of melts in. Okay, so I colored all of those in. Now I'm going to go back to my first one, and I'm just going to add a little bit of darkness here and then kind of in here. Kind of focusing more on my lefts. And then I'll come back in and kind of shade that out in just a minute, but I'll just let that kind of set, and then, well, not set too long because I want to blend it, but just give it a second. And then I'll probably use my brush just to kind of, that looks awful, so I'm actually just going to recolor over that and start over. I don't like how that looks. So instead, I'm just going to color, give all of it a second coat, and we'll be just fine. Okay, so just cutting out those little bats, doing a little fussy cutting with my new scissors, and we will be ready to finish this up. Okay, those look really good. I'm just going to soften the edges just a little with my bone folder, but I really think those turned out, whoop, flipped upside down. Oh, that'd be kind of cute actually. I think those turned out really sweet. Okay, I'm going to bring my card back in and let's see what we want to do in terms of arrangement. I'm kind of thinking I definitely want, yes, I want them to interact. So I have to decide where. I think kind of here would be good because there's a lot of white space here that we could, you know, cover, but then it wouldn't really cover the letter, you know, if that makes sense. You'd still know what the letter is. Oh, that's really fun. So fun. And then I was kind of thinking of having one kind of peek out from underneath, maybe like trimming this off. How would I test that without actually cutting it? Because if I don't like it, I'm going to be a little bummed that I cut that, but it'd be kind of cute to have one. Or should I just, no, you know what? I think I'm going to stick to that. I think that's really fun. I mean, call it playing safe, if you will, but I think that's really cute. I think I like it. Originally, I wanted to kind of have one tucked behind, but I think that that's pretty darn cute. Okay, I think I'm going to do it. So what I think I should do here is, I think I'm going to need some foam squares. And I'm probably going to need, I'll probably need a couple because I don't want those little wings to just fall off into nothing. I'm going to just, sorry, that was off camera. I'm going to double stack these little foam squares and see if that, it's almost a little, no, I think it'll work. It's almost a little tall, but I'd rather it be a little tall than bending down. So I think I'll do that. Okay, so let me take this off and then I'll add a little bit of glue to the other side. And we'll just place these little guys down. Does that make sense? I just don't want that little wing to kind of bow down into nothing and then, you know, I don't know, get warped. Okay, so we have the glue coming into contact with our little spooky panel, and then we have, oh, that looks really good. That feels really nice. Actually, that's pretty level. It's a tad higher, but honestly, I think I'm the only one who would really know. Okay, so one, take that off, and double stack, two, okay, and then glue. And I just kind of add it all over, and it will, wherever it makes contact, it'll glue down. Wherever it doesn't, it will just dry. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay. And I like that it's going to interact with the middle of that O. Okay, I think that looks good. This is cute. I don't know that I had it like that. I think I had it like this, but I'm liking that. So we'll do that. And then maybe over just a hair so that we can get enough foam tape on that little wing. And yep, that's good. There we go. Oh, I gotta peel the adhesive off or it will just end up not lasting. Okay. So, I mean, I think you could mass produce this pretty easily just because there are so many things that would be in steps, right? Do all of your die cutting, do all your stamping, do all your coloring, and then just all your gluing. I mean, if you had, do we have it like this? I think we did. If you had your favorite TV show on, I feel like anything's possible, right? At least that's how I am. Get a good TV show on and I can work all day long. Okay, how cute. Okay, now I'm gonna add just a little bit of shine because I just can't help myself. And then we're gonna call it good. So I pulled this. This one is Rock Candy by Trinity Stamps. I kind of want to just see. Ooh, I think it's fun because it's kind of fun. Kind of looks starry. Let me grab the little tray. And again, I'll try my best to link everything down below. Oh, that's fun. And let's just put it on there and see. We don't know until we know. At least that's it for me. It looks like there's a variety of sizes. Oh, I think that's fun because it's subtle. So maybe, I don't know, let me play around with this for a second and then I'll let you know my thoughts. Okay, so this is kind of where I want to take this. I was kind of having fun placing little trios around, and then I kind of liked 2 better. I felt like 3 was getting just a little too much for me. So I'm going to do 2 next to each of the bats, but then I thought it was really fun to just add a couple within the letters because it's so subtle, but then when you turn it, it kind of just adds something more, right? So I think that's where I'm going to take this. So I'm just going to add my little glue and get them all glued down. I really like this color. I think it's so kind of subtle. It's a little bit more on the silver side, which I think really pairs well with the gray bat. It's just kind of a complementary tone, I think, for me. Okay, finishing up the last few. I really think that I don't know, it works for me. I like it. And I think that's it. But I want to show you because when you lift it up a little bit, it does kind of just, it's subtle, but it has just a little sparkle because you almost think that they get lost within the letters, but then you just turn it and it's something there. I think it's really fun. I love it. This would make a really fun shaker die as well. So if you wanted to do a shaker, that's just like the cutest idea ever. Again, I was initially going to do that and then I thought I'd just keep it a little simple, and because sometimes I think simple is just as stunning. So there it is. I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaned up. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. And again, everything that I use will be linked down below in case you want to shop this look and recreate in your own craft room. All right, everyone, I'll see you in the next video.